setting out some fall crops.
I'm going to be putting out setting out transplants of kale, broccoli, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. Uh, Timing with the fall garden is really important. So for the kale transplants, we'll be actually able to begin harvesting some of the curly kale leaves in as little as a month. Uh, the cabbage, the variety is Savoy, and it's about 55 days. Uh, the broccoli, it is around 80 days, and the Brussels sprouts are around 90 days. So, given that it's about mid-August when these are being transplanted, we're looking at having cabbage perhaps by mid-October, the broccoli by late October, and the Brussels sprouts by mid-November. I hope at least by Thanksgiving. Now, if we would have some really super cold weather, that could have a definite impact upon both the broccoli and the Brussels sprouts. Whenever I'm digging around in the soil, whether I'm transplanting something or planting, or if I'm weeding, whenever I stick my hands down into dirt, I'm reminded that there in that dirt, there are things that have gone through the cycle of living and dying, and that dirt is what plants will eventually return back to, but it's also a seedbed for life. Uh, and it reminds me so much of the seasons and the rhythm of our faith, and even for that matter, with the lectionary calendar. Particularly here in the Northern Hemisphere, when the seasons of the lectionary year, Lent and Easter, and the season of Pentecost and growth, tends to correspond with the times of the year when we're preparing to plant and then watching things grow. And ultimately, in the fall of the year, there's a time for harvest and a time when the plants die, just as in November, we'll be having All Saints Sunday. So, gardening is a spiritual experience for me. When I'm in the garden, it's a place and a time when I feel particularly close to God. So it's late August, a time when the garden is traditionally winding down. And so for me, it's a time for a reset. Yes, it's a time for endings, but it's also a time for beginnings. And that does represent the same rhythm that our faith has as well. So, here in the fall of the year, as I said earlier, I've transplanted some kale. Uh, I've also put out some cabbage, some broccoli, and some Brussels sprouts. And those will go along with the sweet peas that you can see there on the trellis that will hopefully be growing up on that trellis. So have a great day, and I'll see you next time in the garden.